puppy love. Oh, I guess they'll never know.
Welcome back, everyone. We have some gorgeous dogs in here this morning. You know, here's something that you may not know about. There's a breeding practice that can cause beautiful Australian Shepherds to be born blind, deaf, or even both. And many of those impaired animals end up having a harder time, of course, finding homes. And that's where amazing Aussies Lethal White Rescue of Arizona steps in. From that organization, we have Dina Kilgos and Bill Abernathy to tell us a little bit more about, and you also have some of the other volunteers here. So thank you all for being here, first of all.
Well, thanks for having us.
Talk about, I honestly have never heard, I'm familiar with Australian Shepherds, you know, they're beautiful dogs, I know they like to run after things, but what exactly are lethal whites?
Well, lethal whites are, just to be simple, this is a merle, what they call a merle type of Australian Shepherd.
Okay.
If you breed a merle to a merle, they carry a dominant white gene.
Okay.
You can't breed these two together, or what you end up with is 25% of the litter will come out blind or deaf or both. And this is a breeding practice that's known to achieve that goal, and they still continue it. Our goal is to end that.
Why do people still continue it? To get the look of the dog?
Well,
is that what it is?
Exactly. The merle is probably the most valuable dog that they can produce, and these dogs are an acceptable loss to them.
And what happens to the dogs who may have a special need like some of these guys?
Dina?
Well, if it's actually a breeder, a lot of times the breeder will cull them out right when they're born, so they never make it out, which is why we use the terminology lethal, because to them it's lethal to be born white in many cases.
Oh my goodness, that's just heartbreaking to hear. Tell me about the ones that we have here. No, I know this guy here, he can both see and hear.
This is
fine.
Winston, he can see and hear. He's a normal Australian Shepherd merle.
Okay.
Oh, and then we have Chica.
Hi,
Chica's
Chica.
about 1.5 years. She's blind and deaf. She's also our spokes dog for the rescue, so she actually does belong to the rescue. And then I have Zoe here. She's about 7 weeks old. And this is Roxy. That's her sister. And then we have down on the floor Ashes and Snow, which are also brother siblings. They are both deaf.
And people are watching this asking, how do you even begin to train a dog who may be deaf or blind, or like Chica, both?
We use hand or touch signals. So a lot of people, when they train their dogs today, you do use your hands to signal, and so it's the same type of thing. So we might say come this way or stay. With the ones that are deaf and blind, we just use body touch. So instead of using my hand to say come, I'll do it under her chin, and then she'll know to follow me that way.
Wow. And what about having these dogs in your home for them to get accustomed to moving around your home?
Actually, it only takes 24 to 48 hours for them to have your house completely mapped out.
Really?
That would be upstairs, downstairs, doggy doors, the whole piece. They are incredibly intuitive and can figure out exactly where they're going.
That's amazing. Now, how common of a problem are we seeing this? I mean, how many of these lethal whites are we seeing out there right now?
We are seeing quite a few. We have a little over 40 in our rescue right now. And I think maybe the reason we are seeing more is that people are starting to be a little more open to special needs dogs, that are not, you know, putting them down right away just because they're hearing.
And I imagine they bring just as much love as any other animal.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sometimes more, because the way they adapt is just fun to watch. They adapt in different ways because of their disabilities, and it's just not a disability to them. They think they're normal.
They don't know
and that's
any
the way
different.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, they don't know any different.
They're wonderful dogs.
And because you guys are an all-volunteer organization, how can folks out there help? It's going to obviously take a special kind of person to give these dogs a home as well.
Well, it's not really a special kind of person as much as it's just a safety factor at your home. We just look for, you know, a property that's not full of cactus, or, you know, it has a fenced-in type yard. That type of.
And if people are interested in helping you guys out, what can they do then?
We have on our website, we have some promotional fundraisers coming up.
Okay.
And so they can check out there. A couple of them has to do with photography sessions coming up here soon.
Okay.
And actually sponsored by Petco and Camelback Photography and Natural Balanced Dog Food. And then we're always, of course, looking for fosters, volunteers, and obviously donations.
Okay. Well, we will make it easy and put a link on our website
Well,
at
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and continued success with finding these gorgeous dogs some loving homes.
Thank you.
They're saying it's past our prayers time, I think. When we come back, your Morning Stop stories and sports, so stay with us, folks.
Mako paints more